Paul, remember I sent you that bass track? And you're like, what's wrong with your little girly fingers? You're not hitting hard enough.
Speaking of percussion, you would agree, Craig, that bass is pretty percussive, right?
Yeah.
Like you gotta really fucking slam those notes if you really want them to be enunciated. But yeah, we did a little. What was that? That was a jingle we did for a buddy's podcast, and Derek tracked some just bass over it just for shits, and it was like little Timmy found his dad's bass in the closet. And was, like, what the fuck are you playing, dude? So Paul had to retrack it, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Derek.
That's all right, brother.
Craig, what's your approach to bass, man? Because I've been kind of like all over the place playing instruments and shit, but I approach bass way different than guitar. So what's your like approach to bass with like kind of fitting in with the rest of the dudes a little bit? Because I like a lot of people think in metal bass is just guitar, but on bass, I don't
guitar plus low end.
And there's times where that works, man.
Yeah.
There's definitely times where you want to have some of that, but I think what kind of shaped my overall perspective on bass was learning how to improvise over jazz lead sheets. Like I can't do it really well anymore. It's been probably more than 10 years since I was doing that, but just getting schooled by some jazz cats and just like really learning like what notes work over certain chord changes. Mm-hmm. It just opens up how you kind of think of it melodically. So I guess, for me, like I don't want to overplay parts. Like you got to think of where there's space and kind of, I try and think of like the left hand on a piano, There's certain times when just that left hand clunking on a couple notes is all you need. And where the space allows, if you know what notes go well over the part, have at it. And luckily he doesn't complain much.
If you played the piano, would you play the chords with your right hand? Because you're like crisscross.
No, dude, I suck at piano, so I'm just not playing piano anyways.
No, well.
That's the key. Don't play piano.
Stay away from it.
Yes, well, that's why I think bass works really well for me, man. Because like like being able to like do two things and play different parts with one of your hands is really, really difficult, man. And
sure.
I got tried to play piano. I'm just like, yeah, okay, not happening.
Tough.
Stick to bass.
All right, what bass head?
Yeah, man, I'm playing through the same rig I bought when I was like fucking 16 years old. I bought a discontinued Gens-Benz GBE 400. It has built-in compression, so for bass.
The key to good bass.
Key to good bass is compression?
Well, I think so, man. Like because
distortion. We agree.
Both.
All right, you as a drummer will appreciate, like, you can't fucking interfere with the bass drum's range. The bass drum is here. The bass guitar is here.
Yeah, they got to work together.
Somebody who fucking gets it. Jesus. It's been a lot of time. Yeah,
well, you both do vocals and bass at the same time, too. Like,
yeah, but I'm not doing lead vocals. I just do the parts Christian doesn't want to do.
Well, that was my next question is, Christian, man, vocals. Your vocals are fucking sick. I actually hate being a vocalist. Like, it's my least favorite part. I love jamming. I love playing music, but vocals are really hard for me. But what's that?
You got the image for it, though, man.
Yeah, I'm hairy. That's all it takes.
You got a beard. That's about it. What more do you? He's ugly. We'll give him that.
What are some of your vocal influences? Because it's just I heard your vocals. I'm like, holy shit, this dude knows what's up.
Well, thank you, man. I'd say probably my biggest vocal influences would be like Michael Ackerfeld back in the old Opeth days, like My Arms Are Hers, or Still
I hear that.
Deliverance. Peter Taggart, of course. I love Hypocrisy. I love Bloodbath. I mean, when he did Nightmares Made Flesh, it's a wicked, awesome album. I mean, it's probably. Morbid Angels. I actually love Steve Tucker. I love like Gateways to Annihilation. It's probably actually one of my favorite albums, like just straight death metal albums. I think I saw them with Pantera in 2000 with the Reinventing the Steel Tour. The Slayer.
I saw that tour. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
that's the first time I got turned on to Morbid Angels.
And it was in that time I was just kind of getting into death metal. I always loved the drums.
Yeah,
I love the guitars. Vocals, I wasn't sure, but I thought it was cool. And it was actually Shadow's Fall was actually the very first band I ever heard. It was Somber Eyes to the Sky. And actually, the girl I was dating in high school, her brother knew them. I was like 13, and that's before they were even signed. They
Yeah.
gave me that album. And I was like, this is awesome. Because I just did guitar. I started at 9 years old, and I've been playing for 26 years, and I didn't really ever want to do vocals, but it came to be my other band, 60 Grit, which was just a straight death metal band. Started off more like, I guess you could say death metal with some hardcore influence.
Yeah. We
had a singer that just a great guy, but his brother actually was a drummer. He goes, you need to do backing vocals. So I tried it, and we did a show, and he goes, you should sing. So I think the only reason why I started singing, I mean, I had all these influences, but the main reason why I started singing was because I couldn't find anybody that I had a vision in my mind, like I just wanted it to sound a certain way. And I started, and people said, hey, we want you to do vocals. So I just kind of worked on it. And,
what's up, Jay?
Give it all I got, man, every time.
Well, speaking of tracking vocals, I read in an interview you were going through a bout of pneumonia when you did Echoes.
Yes.
I think the vocals
not from
turned out
inhaling shit that time.
well. I think the vocals turned out really well on that album.
Yeah.
I imagine it wasn't easy to get them to sound that way.
No,
was that a real challenge for you?
No, actually. Well, the thing was, I hadn't sang. I mean, I hadn't done any metal vocals for like over a year. I met with Igor, man, probably about a few years actually, before we were listening to Chained to the Earth. And that was like before it was even like a full song. And I was like, I just want to be a part of this. This is sweet. I got sick of playing just death metal. I wanted to do, because I've always loved doom and shit with feeling. I mean, that's how I grew up. That's all the music I ever listened to since I was like 4. But yeah, when I did the vocals, it was tough because I hadn't really, we practiced, but with pneumonia and stuff, it was bad. So the first session I did with Dave, I think it maybe lasted like 2 hours, 3 hours. And I think it was at the end of the guitar. It was like a 10-hour or 8-hour guitar day we did. So I was beat anyway. But
you blew your voice out.
I blew my voice. He was locking the key.
He was fucking really laying it on thick, dude.
Yeah, and I was going full, and because like I'm used to really going like, I really hold myself back vocally in terms of like the screaming and stuff, because I'm used to just going complete bullshit. But because Fires doesn't really call for that, and that's something that Dave really said. He goes, "You're just going it's too intense. Just back off on it a little bit," and which is cool because I'm not blowing out my voice, and I can do it, with a few months of just practicing, I'm back to normal. But It was tough. It took 3 times, and I was initially happy after I heard it, but I was concerned because any higher projected vocal parts, I was like, there goes my voice. It's gone, because it took a while to get over that pneumonia. It was like a month. So
dude, it's the same thing with Christian. It was like, in my other band, I was just like, man, we tried out vocalist after vocalist after vocalist, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. I had no idea what I was doing, and now I'm stuck doing it, I guess.
Sorry.
Oh, it works, man. Your vocals sound awesome, so keep at it.
Oh, thanks. That was the same way. I was the same way, dude.
You sound so enthused.
Well, you go into the studio, and it's like, I haven't done vocals for a long time. And initially I was just doing bass, and then they couldn't find a vocalist to do it. And then they're just like, just do it, Paul. So I'm like,
you can do it.
It takes like a month or 2 to get that shit back. Like the muscle memory goes away. But then once you get it back, it's like, okay, I can do this all day long.
Right.
Dave, thanks for telling Christian to chill back on the vocals. Jason's like, just drink more beer, dude. You'll be fine. I'm over there the next day, like going to work, like,
we didn't have a professional producer to like crack the whip. It was just me, already drunk and
you suck. Do it again.
It sucks. I'm gonna delete every take.
Dave, when you were working at Morris Sound, was it mainly death metal vocalists that were coming through, or did you get the occasional clean singer every now and then?
Oh no, man. When I was there, rap and hip hop sessions were keeping the doors open.
Wow.
Really?
Like most big recording studios, everything's downsizing right now. So in order to stay alive, we got to work on everything. And on top of that, big studios like Morris Sound got a reputation making rock and metal records. but that's not what they were out to do from the start. These guys were out to work with audio, and the audio that found them in the 80s and 90s was death metal largely. So it was kind of like just a chance happening that they became a metal mecca. When I was there, I got to work with a few death metal bands. A few of the older cats came through and we did some cool stuff. Brutality is one that comes to mind. They did that. I think we did 1 or 2 EPs with them as like bringing the band back after 15 years or something like that. But otherwise, no, man, we were just working with mostly regional and local artists, rock, ska, whatever was in Tampa. It's things are different now.